Hello and welcome to another installment of Tech with Ohm. I'm your host, Ohm McGurd. Today we're going to be looking at Cedh, Legion's Emperor. He is a 4/4 human soldier. Whenever you attack, you may sacrifice another creature. When you do, choose two. Create two 1/1 red and white soldier creature tokens with haste that are tapped and attacking. You draw a card and you lose one life. Cedh, Legion's Emperor, deals damage equal to the number of creature tokens you control to target opponent. When I look at this commander, I really want to focus on his last ability. Cedh's Legion Emperor deals damage equal to the number of creature tokens you control to target opponent. With that being said, we're going to use that to work with the first ability to create two 1/1 red and white soldier creature tokens. But we're going to need more soldiers than that, so we're going to throw in a Captain of the Watch. When Captain of the Watch enters the battlefield, create three 1/1 white soldier creature tokens. Company Commander. When Company Commander enters the battlefield, create a number of 1/1 white soldier creature tokens equal to the number of opponents you have. General's Enforcer. For 2 white and a black, exile target card from a graveyard. If it was a creature card, create a 1/1 white human soldier creature token. And Keeper of the Cord. At the beginning of each opponent's end step, if that player controls more creatures than you, create a 1/1 white soldier creature token. We're also going to get a chance to get some more lands to keep up with our opponents here as well. Myrel, Shield of Argive. During your turn, opponents can't cast spells or activate abilities of artifacts, creatures, or enchantments, and whenever she attacks, create X 1/1 colorless soldier artifact creature tokens, where X is the number of soldiers you control. Sky Knight Vanguard. Flying. Whenever Sky Knight Vanguard attacks, create a 1/1 white soldier creature token that's tapped and attacking, and deploy to the front, create X 1/1 white soldier creature tokens, where X is the number of creatures on the battlefield. Martial Coup. Create X 1/1 white soldier creature tokens. If X is 5 or more, destroy all other creatures. Call the Coppercoats. Choose any number of target opponents. Create X 1/1 white human soldier creature tokens, where X is the number of creatures those opponents control. Entrapment Maneuver. Target player sacrifices an attacking creature. You create X 1/1 white soldier creature tokens, where X is that creature's toughness. Horn of Gondor. When Horn of Gondor enters the battlefield, create a 1/1 white human soldier creature token. For 3, tap it, create X 1/1 white human soldier creature tokens, where X is the number of humans you control. Assemble the Legion. At the beginning of your upkeep, put a muster counter on it, then create a 1/1 red and white soldier creature token with haste for each muster counter on Assemble the Legion. And Bastion of Remembrance. When this enchantment enters, create a 1/1 white human soldier creature token. We got a few other token generators here that are not soldiers. Adeline Resplendent Cather. Whenever you attack, for each opponent, create a 1/1 white human creature token that's tapped and attacking that player or a planeswalker they control. Secure the Waste. Create X 1/1 white warrior creature tokens. Anim Pakal, Thousandth Moon. Whenever you attack with one or more non-gnome creatures, put a +1/+1 counter on her. Then create X 1/1 colorless gnome artifact creature tokens that are tapped and attacking, where X is the number of +1/+1 counters on her. Grand Crescendo. Create X 1/1 green and white citizen creature tokens. Creatures you control gain indestructible until end of turn. Thalisi Reverent Medium. At the beginning of your end step, create X 1/1 white spirit creature tokens with flying, where X is the number of tokens you've created this turn. Now that we've got a whole bunch of tokens coming in, we still want a whole bunch of them because we're trying to build an army. Just want to point out this section, these cards are a bit on the expensive side. The deck doesn't require them to function. It works perfectly fine without them, but just a lot more devastating with these in here. Elspeth Stormslayer. If one or more tokens will be created under your control, twice that many of those tokens are created instead. Mondrak. If one or more tokens will be created under your control, twice as many are created. Ogier Tack, Deepest Foundation. If one or more tokens will be created under your control, 3 times that many are created instead. An Anointed Procession. If an effect would create one or more tokens under your control, creates twice that many instead. So now that we've got a whole bunch of creatures coming in and out of the battlefield, we're going to start getting some benefits off of it with a Cruel Celebrant. Whenever Cruel Celebrant or another creature or planeswalker you control dies, each opponent loses a life, you gain a life. Ellis Ilkor, Sadistic Pilgrim. Death Touch. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, you gain 1 life. Whenever another creature you control dies, each opponent loses a life. Cabal Profiteering Mayor. Whenever 1 or more tokens enter the battlefield under your opponent's control, for each of them, create a tapped token that's a copy of it. This ability triggers only once each turn. Whenever 1 or more tokens enter the battlefield under your control, each opponent loses a life, you gain a life. Of course, Mirkwood Bats. Flying, whenever you create or sacrifice a token, each opponent loses 1 life. Morbid Opportunist, whenever 1 or more other creatures die, draw a card. This ability triggers once each turn with a commander out and attacking. Pretty much every single turn we're going to benefit off of that. Pitiless Plunderer. Whenever another creature you control dies, create a treasure token. Zergo Stormrender. Whenever a creature token you control leaves the battlefield, draw a card if it was attacking, otherwise each opponent loses 1 life. And just to revisit Bastion of Remembrance, whenever a creature you control dies, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. Cathar's Crusade. Whenever a creature you control enters, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. Impact Tremors. Whenever a creature you control enters, this enchantment deals 1 damage to each opponent. War Leader's Call. Creatures you control get +1/+1. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, War Leader's Call deals 1 damage to each opponent. And Zulaport Cutthroat. Whenever Zulaport Cutthroat or another creature you control dies, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. We also have a couple pieces here that are really good for synergy with our commander and our whole overall plan. With Commissar Severina Rain. Leading from the front, whenever she attacks, each opponent loses X life, where X is the number of other attacking creatures. Pay to sacrifice another creature, gain 2 life and draw a card. And Ishin 2 Heavens as 1. If a creature attacking causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger, that ability triggers an additional time. So now that we've got all of our creature tokens coming in and out and some benefits off of that, now we can start buffing up our tokens to make them even more terrifying. Starting with a Bone Karen Butcher. Attacking tokens you control have Death Touch. Elder Arthur Maxon. Creature tokens you control have Training. Whenever a creature token you control attacks with another creature with greater power, put a +1/+1 counter on that token. Nyala Sons of Vanguard. Attacking tokens you control have Double Strike. Whenever 1 or more tokens you control attack a player, exile the top card of your library. During any turn you attacked with a token, you may play that card. And an Inspiring Leader. Commander creatures you own have creature tokens you control get +2/+2. Intangible Virtue. Creature tokens you control get +1/+1 and have Vigilance. And Rising of the Day. Creatures you control have Haste. Legendary creatures you control get +1/+0. So we've got our army all established. We need some backup with some protection. So we're going to use Akroma's Will. Choose 1 if you control a commander. As you cast a spell, you may choose both. Creatures you control gain Flying, Vigilance, and Double Strike until end of turn. Creatures you control gain Lifelink, Indestructible, and Protection from all colors until end of turn. A Boros Charm. Choose 1. Boros Charm deals 4 damage to target player or planeswalker. Permanents you control gain Indestructible until end of turn. Target creature gains Double Strike until end of turn. Dawn's Truce. Gift a card. You and permanents you control gain Hexproof until end of turn. If the gift was promised, permanents you control also gain Indestructible until end of turn. Flawless Maneuver. If you control a commander, you may cast a spell without paying its mana cost. Creatures you control gain Indestructible until end of turn. Unbreakable Formation. Creatures you control gain Indestructible till end of turn. If you cast a spell during your main phase, put a +1/+1 counter on each of those creatures and they gain Vigilance until the end of turn. Dolmengate. Prevent all combat damage that will be dealt to attacking creatures you control. And Victimize. Choose 2 creature cards in your graveyard, sacrifice a creature. If you do, return the chosen cards to the battlefield tapped. Great way to kind of bring something back that might have gotten removed that you didn't want removed. Got a few noteworthy cards here, starting with a Court of Embereth. When Court of Embereth enters the battlefield, you become the monarch. At the beginning of your upkeep, create a 3/1 Red Knight creature token. Then if you're the monarch, Court of Embereth deals X damage to each opponent, where X is the number of creatures you control. All Out Assault. Creatures you control get +1/+1 and have Death Touch. When this enchantment enters, if it's your main phase, as an additional combat phase after this phase, followed by an additional main phase. When you attack this turn, untap each creature you control. And 3 Tree City. As 3 Tree City enters, choose a creature type, tap to add 1, pay 2, tap it, choose a color, add an amount of mana of that color equal to the number of creatures you control of the chosen type. And for the creature type of this card, I would probably probably choose soldiers. We do have a few infinite combos here between Splinter Twin and Kiki Jiki Mirror Breaker. Either one of these two cards will go infinite with these other four, with either Combat Celebrant, Village Bell Ringer, Zealous Conscripts, or Breath of Fury. Basically, Splinter Twin and Kiki Jiki are almost the same exact thing. So basically what you're going to want to do is start making copies of either Village Bell Ringer, Zealous Conscripts, or Combat Celebrant, and we just keep reversing the process back and forth to untap them, retap Kiki Jiki or the enchanted creature with Splinter Twin to create another copy. It's going to enter, it's going to untap. You can give yourself infinite creature tokens for basically infinite combat damage. Same thing with Breath of Fury. You would use that the same way. So Splinter Twin would enchant any other creature that's not affected by summoning sickness. Put Breath of Fury onto that creature as well. You're going to tap it, create a token copy. Just keep infinitely doing that until you have enough to just kill everybody on the board. And with that, sadly, we reached the end of this video. I hope you guys liked it. If you did, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And if you're still looking for more, you can find me on Instagram. On there I post almost every single day, mainly doing weird random combos, some synergies for some commanders, and updates for this channel here. And if you're still looking for more even after all that, you can check out friend of the channel Discard and Draw over on either their YouTube channel or on their Twitch channel as well for more Magic the Gathering content and spell table games.